Hello everybody and welcome back. Party are in this room here, which is an aviary, and we have just killed a load of piranha birds which attacked us. Liz could do with a staff of healing. She has 12 hit points out of 18. Remember, she normally has 16 hit points, but because of the magical fountain upstairs, that increases to 18 for the duration of this adventure. Excellent. Pleased with that. What a nice way to start off. We've checked out this corridor and it just seems to end in a dead end. And unlike the rest of this place, which seems to be constructed, this corridor is just a rough tunnel. It says here there's a secret door at the end, but we have really no interest in looking for it because we can just move down the corridor there and we come to another door. And Liz listens at it and she hears the sounds of eating, but it only seems like there's one person doing it. Okay, so we open the door and in the corner here we see it seems to be a hobgoblin with very little, in fact with no clothes on. And it's sitting in the corner munching and eating away at the corpse of, well, we don't really want to know what the corpse of. This could be cannibalism. Does it jump up quickly enough to surprise us? Or can we surprise it? Well, there is no surprise, but it does indeed jump up. And even though it looks like a hobgoblin, it isn't. It is a thule, which I'm assuming is ghoul with a th. A thule is a combination between a troll, a ghoul and a hobgoblin, and they look like hobgoblins and can be mistaken for them. But it also has ghoul-like and troll-like abilities. It can regenerate and it can also do paralysis like a ghoul. Now Sylvia is immune to ghoul paralysis. Should she be immune to thule paralysis? Don't know. Anyway, let's roll for initiative. And it gets it. So it immediately runs up. Now I'm going to do a roll. Orange dice is Donard, green dice is Carrick. Whoever gets the lowest gets targeted. And it's Donard it goes for. And it does 2 attacks on him. And it has a THAC0 of 16. And that's a miss. And that's a hit. And that does 1 damage. Now he has to make a saving throw versus paralysis, which I believe is 14. Ah yes, he throws a 19. Yes, he succeeds. So it's our turn. Take that, ghoul, and your paralysis. Let's do archery. We've got Sylvia with the new longbow. So she gets -1 to her THAC0. She gets +1 for short range, +1 for her longbow, and -3 because, well, Donard and Carrick are in the way. So it says -1. And that's a miss. And Liz gets +1. She hits AC 5. It has AC 6. She does 5 + 2. It's from 13 to 6. Right. And Gareth, iron in hand, is going to have a go. And he misses. Cohen de Filch, who misses. And then finally melee. And that is Donard with a THAC0 of 15. He hits AC 3 with a max damage of 6 and kills the thule. Right, we look over this body and the thule and we find nothing. This is an empty room. Now we're told that there was a chance the thule could have run in through here, through a secret door, when we were in this room. That didn't happen. And the other thing we're told is that when the thule runs in through here, that it trips over the invisible body of the mage, because that body is here in front of the secret door. Yet again, the book has a typo and places the body here. Right, okay, that was a fight. So we might as well go back outside and go to here. and we don't find anything. And we get to here, to this junction, and we're still fine. We're at this junction, we've cleared out everything, and there's really only one place for us to go, and we feel the end game is coming up. Are we all in good health? We seem to be. We'll cast the Staff of Healing on Gareth Ironhand. He has only got 4 HP. Yes, so that's another 6. He's up to 10 out of 13. So we make it round here. We have a junction, and we still come across nothing. In fact, the tension is building. The absence of any patrols is more ominous than meeting any patrols. So we look down the corridor. There are some torches in this area, and we can see some double doors here. We can see a passage down here. Let's listen at this door. And Liz doesn't hear anything. So we open it up and we find an abandoned mess hall. This is a whole area of tables and chairs and bits of bones and dried meat and spilled beer on the tables. It looks as though it could have catered to a high population, right? But there's nothing here of any use. So we go back to this junction here. And still we don't see anything. And we can look down it and see it's a dead end. And there's 2 doors. So let's listen at this door. Liz doesn't hear anything. We go in and we find some empty barracks. There's a whole series of bunk beds here, and even though they're not decayed, they're in pretty good nick. They have recently been slept in. So we listen at this door, and again nothing is heard. We go in and we see the exact same thing. Another series of bunk beds. Now the big fight we had here, the bugbears came from here. So this is looking very disturbed as they jumped out of bed, threw their blankets on the floor and rushed to join this fight. But again, it's empty. And as soon as we come back out of here, we're faced with bugbears. How many bugbears are we faced with? It's 1 or 2. It's 1. Right. Everything attacks on sight here. And this bugbear, 3+1 hit dice and 15 HP and an AC of 5. Right. Did anybody get surprised? Nobody got surprised. Did anybody get initiative? It gets initiative. So it's going to take a swing at either Donard or Carrick. And this time it swings for Carrick. It has a THAC0 of 16, needs a 17 to hit him. And luckily it doesn't. Right, Argo. We'll do melee first. Since, well, it came from round the corner. And our archers are kind of here. So they can join in next round. So Donald hits AC 4 and does 5 damage. So it's from 16 to 11. Carrick misses. His THAC0 is 13. He hits AC 7. That's a miss. Right. Round 2. And we get initiative. I'm going to have just 2 archers. I've made it up. That's going to be Sylvia, who misses. Liz, who misses. Donard, who misses. Don't you just love it? And Carrick, who hits and does 8 damage. It's from 11 to 3. So I'm going to do its turn with a morale check. Its morale holds up. So it has another swing on Carrick. And it hits and does 5 damage. Carrick is from 24 to 19. Round 3. It's mutual. So let's do it first. And that's a miss. Right, let's do Sylvia, who misses. Liz hits and kills it. That wandering monster kept us on our toes, as wandering monsters are meant to. Maybe it found the dead bodies up here and came back immediately to report back that something has hit the fan. So we are faced with double doors here, which look extremely grand, and we're also looking for the leader of this. And we've followed the one and only path back, so yes, it looks like this might be where our adventure ends. Either it ends with us successful or us dead. Let's take a break. I'm back in a minute. Right, we have just cleared out what is obviously some kind of barracks for a large number of hobgoblins. There aren't any hobgoblins, but ahead of us are some double doors which look very grand. Well, these are all the hallmarks of the end game. Whatever is behind, or whoever is behind here, clearly is in position of authority. And that can only mean the leader. Let's actually listen at the door. And Liz doesn't hear anything. She goes back with a shrug. Let's just go in there and finish this. We have a mission. Right, and this throne room is 70 by 50. And it looks like this as we burst in. Right, we have come in through the double doors here. There's a king on a throne. He has got 2 bodyguards, and there are 6 other hobgoblins. And the layout of the room has been described for us. The bodyguards flank the king. There are 4 sitting around a fire with a cauldron of manky stew. And there are 2 other hobgoblins here in the southwest corner, taking some beer from a barrel. It seems that we have barged in on what seems to be a lot of festivities. These guys clearly, they haven't got the memo that their entire army has been virtually slaughtered. Let's roll for surprise. And we surprise them. Oh good, right. Because that means we get to cast our second and last sleep spell. We also have a web, and another magic missile, and a hold person. Let's everybody move in. There's going to be some clear lines of sight for our archers. I'm not going to bother with any THACO penalties, so let's just get our retainer and Liz to shoot. Let's start with Liz. Go for this hobgoblin. And she hits. They have an AC of 6. She hits AC 3 and does 3 damage. That is enough to kill this one, so it is dead. Cullen de Filch is going to go on this one, and he hits. He does 4 damage, and that kills it. Sylvia can go on this one. She misses. And Gareth Ironhand can go on the same one. And he hits, and he does 3 damage. That's it from 5 down to 2. Magic spells, and well, there is only one magic spell in these circumstances, and that is sleep. So, and look at that, 14 HP. Good. Now let's top this up. The king has 5, the bodyguards have 4 each, so that is 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and we've got 14. We'll start with the lowest. If he casts sleep here, it has a large enough radius to capture everybody. And so that's 4, 8, 12. So that's everybody but the king asleep. Well, you know, sleep is what it is. And so that is the king left. We've got nothing to do but charge forward at him. I'm using 1 square equals 5 feet. Let's do Donard on the king. Now the king also has an AC of 6. but he has 22 hit points and he is a 5 hit dice monster, so his Thaco is 14. Donard hits and does max damage, plus all his bonuses is 10. King is from 22 to 12. Carrick hits, and with all his bonuses, the king is that's 9 off him, from 12 down to 3. Right, I'm gonna have to do a morale check. It's the king's turn, and his morale is 12. Okay, he doesn't get a morale check, but he does 1d8 plus 2 damage. Now, who is he going to attack? I'll roll 2 dice. Lowest is the victim, and the orange dice is Donard, and the green dice is Carrick. And he goes for Carrick. And he misses. Okay, that was our surprise round, so I should have rolled for initiative. Oh well, I'm not going to bother. This thing was a slaughter. So now let's roll for round 1. And we get it. Okay. Some movement from our archers to get some shots in. We'll do Liz. She hits, and she does all that's needed, and the king is dead. It's up to everybody to get out their swords and dispatch the rest of these hobgoblins. And that was that. I laid this out expecting a bit more of a fight. Well, that went much, much better than I anticipated. Okay, well, we'll pause for a minute and get our breath back. Well, we have slain the Goblin King, and we've come to what appears to be a dead end. There are some rooms, so that's it. It looks like we've fulfilled our mission and foiled the hobgoblin raid on Guido's fort. So let's loot this room here. This is the bodyguard's chamber. It has some sacks of treasure, gold, electrum and silver pieces, and a jeweled necklace worth 800. There's approximately 1000 XP of treasure in this room. This is the bedroom of the king, and he has some rich tapestries. Tapestries are really bulky things. We're going to leave them, so no treasure and no XP there. And there's this blocked out piece here, and we haven't found the king's treasury, so it seems pretty obvious that there's going to be a secret door somewhere here. Let us roll to see if Sylvia can find a secret door, and she's going to search all of the walls, and she gets it the first time. What she loses in archery, she makes up in finding secret doors. I would have been prepared to roll that dice 3 or 4 times to get that result. She searches here, she finds the door, and right, there are 2 chests in this room. Right, so what's up? We have 2 thieves. Liz and Cullen are both going to search for traps on the west chest. And Liz doesn't find anything. Cullen does. This chest is trapped. So it's up to both of our thieves to try and disarm it. Cullen is going to have a go, and he disarms it. And again, he gives Liz a cocky wink, saying, "That's how you do it." And what about this chest on the east? See if Liz can equal this. She doesn't find any traps on this one. And Cullen doesn't either. Right. As we're told in the manual, it's up to thieves to unlock things. It's not up to them to open them. So Carrick is going to move forwards, and he opens this chest with ease. And it contains more coins. There's plenty of copper pieces, nearly 1,300. We're not interested in copper pieces, but Cullen de Filch is, so he will take those. There's approximately another 500 XP worth of gold in this, in various currencies. But this chest, we couldn't find anything. Carrick opens it, and he gets pranged by a needle. And he throws a 7 as his saving throw. Now his saving throw versus poison has gone down, since he leveled up to 6. Right. Okay. So if that was one of the advantages of him leveling up, and he just made that saving throw. And there was a good chance we would have had to swap poor Carrick's corpse out for Gareth Ironhand. Well, okay, I'm pleased with that. And this contains 3 potions of healing. Ah yes. And another potion which looks very similar to the potion of invisibility we found on the cleric. So we now have 2 potions of invisibility, 3 more potions of healing, and a pearl necklace worth 1,000 gold pieces. Well, that is enough to celebrate with. There isn't anything to cement the celebration. The wine is rancid, the stew is green and murky. Now I've just read here, if we search the bodyguards, they have keys on them, and those keys can open these chests without springing any traps. Well, that was a bit foolish and hasty of us. Let's gather everything in the middle of the room and cast a wand of magic detection. The spear glows and a ring glows as well. Okay, so we'll take those. That is a spear +1, and the ring is a ring of fire resistance. We don't know that yet though. We've nothing to do but leave. I'm not going to roll for any more wandering monsters. We have cleared this entire level. And we walk along here, back to here, ready to tell the good folk of Guido's Fort the goblin raid has been foiled. And we walk over here, and lo and behold, the entire floor just drops beneath us, and it's a trap. This trap, we're told, is 40 foot long, it takes up half the entire corridor, and it is activated by the king not sitting on his throne. So when he was alive and sitting on his throne, there was no trap. He's fallen off it, this trap is activated. Okay. When the seat is vacant, the weight of 4 characters causes the doors to swing open, plummeting those 4 characters down a 300-foot chute below and into the next level of the dungeon. There's a 75% chance that any characters walking behind will also fall. So the first 4 take 1 to 3 points of damage each from falling down the chute. Anybody else can choose to slide down the chute without taking damage. So our usual front line is Carrick, Donard, Liz and Sylvia. So let's roll 1d3 for each of them. Right, okay, and Sylvia takes 3 damage. She's from 11 to 8. Liz takes 2. She's to 16. Donard takes 1. He's down to 18. And Carrick takes 2. He is down to 18 as well. Gareth, Ironhand and Malin were standing behind them. Does Malin slip down as well? Yes, he does. He gets less than 75. What about Gareth? And yeah, he falls as well. So the only person remaining upstairs is Cullen de Filch. And that is where we're going to have to leave it for a minute. How are they going to get out of this one? Just as we were celebrating the fact that we had killed the Hobgoblin King and foiled the raid and saved Guido's Fort, 6 of us end up sliding down this 300-foot chute into, well, where? So our party is split up. We have a thief, Cullen de Filch, who's upstairs, and he can't see us because this chute has sort of spiraled, a bit helter-skelterish, but he can hear us shouting up. He doesn't have too much experience of this dungeon, since he spent a lot of time in this cell, but we did discover this storeroom here, and this storeroom has coils of rope. It had 20 coils of rope, 100 feet each. That's more than enough to try and tie together and maybe pull us out one by one. Now Cullen de Filch is here, and there are 4 segments of wall. These can climb vertical surfaces, and it doesn't specify that it has to be upward. So he has to roll under 88% 4 times to climb along this rough wall and drop to the other side of the trap, then try and remember where the storeroom is and save us. So we're shouting, get us the rope, get us the rope. And he hears our voices echo coming up the chute. And yes, he rolls 8%. He rolls 72%. So he's halfway across. And he rolls 89%. Did I say it was 88 for a level 2 thief? Or 89? It's 88. And he falls down in. God damn it, this is not what I had planned. Okay, so he misses. And he falls into the chute. Now he has to take 1d3 damage. Because he doesn't fall directly into a horizontal floor. He falls into this angled, vertical, slippery chute. So he takes 2 damage. So he's down to 5 health. Right. The reason I did not want that to happen, what I had planned, what was going on in his mind, is he was going to make his way to the other side and he was just going to run and abandon us. Well, it looks like his plans were foiled and mine, and he's stuck with the party, even though he wanted to just save his own skin. Okay, right. Where are we? At the bottom of the chute? Well, it's this mess. So not only is our adventure not over, it's really just beginning. Now we are in this octagonal room. And while we were shouting up to Cullen to filch, as soon as we gather ourselves, after one round, one of these doors, which are numbered 1 to 8, bursts open. And it's door number 2, and 2 berserkers come charging in, and, well, because they came charging in on round 1, they get surprise. Right. We have 7 party members, and in the order that I've written them, Carrick is 1, and Liz is 4. So charge in, and 1 misses Carrick, and 1 hits Liz. She's down from 16 to 12. We have barely our breath to get our breath back when 2 of our party are attacked, and they get initiative. These guys are frenzied and are determined to keep at us. And 1 hits Carrick. He's from 18 to 13. And the second one misses Liz. Look at that, 8 damage. It's our turn. Missiles. Seems a bit daft, but to fight. Can you fight, use a bow on somebody who's directly attacking you? I don't think so. I'm going to have to double check that rule. We've never had it before. So Liz is going to have to try and use this turn to take her sword out. Cullen de Filch is on a crossbow. Not Cullen, Gareth Ironhand fires his crossbow and misses badly. Malin tries to chuck a dagger. Gets a short range bonus. This is a tiny area. He hits AC 7 and he does 3 damage. So the one on Liz is from 5 to 2. Nice one, Malin. You hit when needed. So Donard hits and kills the one that's on Liz. Carrick has to defend himself. Yeah, and we'll do. And Carrick not only defends himself, but kills it. Well, that was quite alarming. So here we are, in this octagonal room, with 1 open door, and 7 closed doors, and there could be berserkers behind each one. I'm going to have an interesting time trying to map this, because obviously I have this guide. Whereas if you were a player, the DM would tell you a vague direction, like you go northwest and you curve slightly to the left, or you go north and curve slightly to the right, or south and sharply to the left. And from these vague instructions, the mapper, especially in the areas like this, is meant to have trouble mapping it. I wonder if I can simulate that. I don't think so. That might be part of the fun of this level that I, as a solo player, miss out on. when I look at the time we've spent in the level above, it's coming up to the end of the day. We need to sleep. And can we really sleep somewhere that has 8 doors? Not really. This is the predicament we find ourselves in, and that's where I'm going to leave it for today. Next session, we have to work our way through this mess. So I'll see you then.